Pritchard Gymnasium on the campus of Stony Brook University. It's the final edition of the 2024 Stony Brook Seawolves home schedule right here on Flow Sports. They'll be taking on the Towson Tigers right here from the North Fork of Long Island to conclude their 2024 home schedule. We welcome you inside Pritchard Gymnasium. Joey Jarzink on hand with you. It was a tough one yesterday for Stony Brook. They were swept in straight sets by this Towson team. And it was, again, a real tough one when you look at it on paper because Towson really did not play their best. But Stony Brook, they gave about 37 points to Towson, 25 attacking errors with 13 total service errors. So those were some things that were really, really tough for Stony Brook. They look to get back in front of things against the top team in the conference, the Towson Tigers. You take a peek on the opposite side for this Tigers team led by head coach Don Metal in his 12th year, and they were just business as usual yesterday. Again, hitting percentage was not all really as high as they would expected it to be, but they have won now 7 straight contests, and they currently sit atop the CAA table in a 4-way tie with a trio of other teams. Let's take a peek now at the starting lineups. First for Stony Brook, it's Tori Henry, Ayana Pierre-Louis in the middle, Abby Campbell the other middle, Julia Patsos, the libero, Quinn Anderson on the outside, Callie Moore and Leonie Coons are the 2 outsides as well. Erin Brothers, Sydney Stewart, Victoria Barrett for Towson, the 2024 preseason player of the year in the CAA. Maisie Jesse, Sarah Callender, Elenia Demango, and Zaire Abdul Rahim is the lineup for Towson. Well, you take a peek here at these 2 programs and taking a peek at the keys to victory for Stony Brook to start things up. And Stony Brook, something that head coach Kristen Belzong had told us was, we told you yesterday, offensive variability. They need to figure things out in terms of how to get the ball to anyone other than Callie Moore and Leonie Coons. Who could those folks be on the floor? We'll see exactly who it is. We saw some bright spots from Quinn Anderson. We saw some bright spots from Ayana Pierre-Louis yesterday. And we even saw a few terminations right in the front from Abby Campbell, which is a really good sign, too. Again, a graduate, so she's done after this year. But, again, positive signs for this team when it comes to depth in the middle. Also, using all of our tools. We have to be very different than Towson. That's something that Belzong had made a key point as Tori Henry opens this matchup with a service ace. Went off the fingertips of Victoria Barrett, and also keeping Towson off balance is very crucial as well, and ensuring that this team can potentially outlast this Towson squad. And again, we told you 7 straight victories for them. How can Stony Brook do it? And Leonie Coons says that's how. So the Seawolves in front nice and early. First kill from Coons. Upstairs toward Abdul Rahim. And just too much for Callie Moore to handle, and Towson on the board. Taking a peek at Towson's keys to victory. And the big one for head coach Don Metal was limit Stony Brook's chances. That's the big thing. Then also limit the outsides as well. We told you about Moore and Coons. Those 2, can they do so here? Upstairs from Jesse. And had gone just wide. Stony Brook now in front 3-1. Serving tough, that's a big thing too. And again, this Towson team, just like Stony Brook, they are in the tops of the conference in service aces this campaign. You take a peek at total service aces for Towson. They came in with 174 today. Meanwhile, Stony Brook with 165. And Victoria Barrett on the outside. What a job that she was able to do there. We'll take another look at it. And again, oh so tough on that cross-court termination from the near side. And then seeing matchups for Towson is the final key for the Tigers. And that's something that head coach Don Metal had told us very simply just a couple of days ago was that our team was struggling a little bit seeing certain matchups. He said that we were able to eventually get things going against Hampton, Elon, and Northeastern, but he said that we have so much more that we have in the gas tank, and he said we still need to show it. Kaitlyn Moore on the outside records her first termination of the afternoon. And again, that is the matchup to watch. Is Kaitlyn Moore on the outside. The top two outsides in the conference on the same floor today. Upstairs for Barrett again. Nothing you could do about that if you're Madison Signa. We're knotted up at 4. Oh, so powerful is Barrett. Henry. Coons. Great attempt. Second chance. Barrett keeps it alive. Again, kept it alive. And Stony Brook, they're able to execute off of numerous challenges from the Tigers. Digging it out left and right, but simply Barrett could not keep the rally going. And Coons with a service error right in the net. Knotted up at 5 again. Signa. Henry, the setter dump. Puts the Seawolves back in front by 1. So Stony Brook's been struggling a little bit as of late. They've lost 4 straight. And you take a peek at the CAA table. We'll show you that momentarily. Upstairs for Brothers. Henry kept it alive. That time is Moran on the outside for Nakai. Back row attempt by Barrett. So Towson sitting at the top of the table, tied with Delaware, Charleston, and Hofstra. That is the big one there. Towson and Delaware, they are tied in terms of winning streaks. They've both won 7 straight coming into their respective matches today. Henry sets up Moore along the back row. And too much for the libero, Sydney Stewart. Stony Brook back in front. North Carolina A&T at 10-5. They sit in the 5th spot. They've clinched a spot in the CAA tournament. Stony Brook and Northeastern are tied up at 7-8 in conference play. Elon and William & Mary at 5-10. And Brothers with the attempt just wide, and the Seawolves in front by a pair. Upstairs. And off of Kaitlyn Moore was Sarah Callender. 15-15. We saw Kaitlyn Moore yesterday don number 6. Back to her native 15 here this afternoon. Here's Callender, the junior outside. Henry sets up Pierre-Louis. Stewart Abdul-Rahim. Kept alive by a Coons forearm. Back row attempt from Moore. It's Barrett. Dug out by Moore. Henry, Pierre-Louis mistimed it. Knotted up at 8 here in the first set. Kept alive, Anderson, Moore. Setting up Abdul-Rahim was Jesse. Henry to Anderson on the outside. And the aforementioned Abdul-Rahim goes just wide. Seawolves back in front. So we're going to keep our eyes out on the scoreboard today. Again, Northeastern and Campbell doing battle here this afternoon. And the two-handed attempt by Victoria Barrett is successful, and that seesaw momentum continues to go back and forth. Henry sets up Anderson. Coons, Henry, give and go. And off of Sarah Callender. So here comes Cigna. We discussed with you yesterday how Cigna back on October 19th against Elon had a career high in service aces with 6. And this time records a service error, one you definitely don't want to see. And again, we told you about the free points that Stony Brook had handed Towson yesterday. That's one that, again, you want to limit as much as possible. 25 attacking errors yesterday, alongside 12 service errors, 37 free points that Stony Brook had given Towson. And here this afternoon, that has not been the case here, which is a very good sign for Stony Brook. Here's Coons, kept alive by Callender. Henry to Coons, yes! Knotted up at 11. Again, this is a Stony Brook team that has never won more than one set against the Towson Tigers, dating back to 2001. Could today be different? Upstairs, Barrett. And off the fingertips of a Seawolf. Currently, Victoria Barrett leading the way with 6 kills and 8 total attempts. Has a hitting percentage of .750. This team has only recorded 9 kills, and she's got 75% of them. A rather poor math there, 66% of them. And we're knotted up at 12 again. Leonie Coons, 5 of 9. Upstairs from Moran, and on the outside, it's Campbell and Moore. Combined for a point to put the Seawolves back in front. And that, it seems like, will be the theme of this first set. As Coons sends a service directly into the net. So far, Stony Brook has really high hitting percentage at .529, 9 of 17. More Patsos, kept it alive. Coons gets it over. Upstairs, tough set by Kaitlyn Moran. So Towson, they run a 6-2 formation with the 2 setters. Usually Maisie Jesse and Kaitlyn Moran. Meanwhile, Stony Brook, they don their 5-1 formation. Tori Henry, their primary setter. And could not get that down. Was Towson on that attacking error. And the Seawolves back in front by 2. Upstairs, Moran, brothers, quiets the crowd. Fourteen to 14. That time was Maisie Jesse, Abdul Rahim, and Callie Moore unable to handle that time. and knotted up at 15 again. Back-to-back points for Towson. And oh so close. Stony Brook trying to preserve a lead. Towson says not today. And did that hit the antenna? It did. Now Towson in front by 1. They're in the midst of a 3-0 scoring run. And Coons goes the other way. It's a service ace, and the Tigers are now in front by 2. And a timeout will be taken here by head coach Kristen Belzung. Well, we're going to show you a couple of statistics from yesterday's match, and again, it's something that you definitely want to really keep your eyes out for. And we told you about how Towson, again, they had their way with Stony Brook in a straight set sweep. Sayer Abdul Rahim with 11 kills, 4 blocks. Callie Moore led the way with 10 kills, 2 aces as well, and the hitting percentage was one that we really need to watch for, right? We told you about the attacking errors. We told you about the unforced errors that Stony Brook had essentially given Towson yesterday, and that's the reason for the low hitting percentage numbers on Towson's side. You would think, well, 3-0 straight set sweep, 25-19, 25-18, 25-19. Not really the case, so that's kind of what had gone down there. So we'll see now what happens here heading into the latter stage of the first set. Well, here inside Pritchard Gymnasium, our public address announcer, Nick McIntyre, just gave a quick shout out to the Stony Brook Seawolves women's soccer team. And again, you take a peek at all of them in the stands. They just won last night their first CAA tournament championship after becoming CAA co-regular season champs with Monmouth, and that's who they took down yesterday by a score of 2-1 down in West Long Branch. And they're champions now, and they are now automatic qualifiers into the NCAA tournament. So congratulations to Tobias Bischoff and his entire women's soccer program. But back here inside Pritchard, the Tigers out of the timeout. They're able to record yet another service ace. Henry upstairs to Anderson, breaks up the 5-0 scoring run and brings Stony Brook back within 2. Here's Julia Patos playing her last game inside Pritchard Gymnasium as a grad. Upstairs, off-balance attempt from Callender. Henry sets up Anderson. Goes off of Brothers. And Stony Brook, back-to-back points. Brings this game within 1 for the Seawolves. And now Towson, they have their eyes on Stony Brook's momentum potentially building, so why not take a wrench and potentially throw it in that momentum, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Back in 60 here on Flow Sports. So Stony Brook trailing the Towson Tigers by 1, 18-17. Here in set number one, Joey Jarzinka back with you, our producer Becca Garner, her entire Flow Sports crew here inside Pritchard Gymnasium one final time this 2024 season. Stony Brook in the midst of a 4-match skid. Meanwhile, Towson, they're red hot. Alongside Delaware, have won 7 straight coming into this afternoon. Punched over that time by brothers Anderson on the outside. Kept alive. Abdul Rahim and Pierre-Louis paired with Anderson go out of play, and now Towson in front by 2. Moore, Henry, the setter specialty. Now caught on nicely by the opposite setter in Jesse, and Stony Brook with a point back. Upstairs from Jesse, Abdul Rahim, Patsos, the libero, keeps it alive. Jesse and Barrett. It's tough to really come up with words with the power that Barrett has. It's very different. Coons tries to high arc that attempt, and who else? Victoria Barrett. And a timeout taken by Kristen Belzung. All right, let's take a peek here with Stony Brook. And we told you yesterday, we labeled it Struggling Seawolves simply because it's been a rough go the last 4 matches, right? Now we're going to look here, right? So they've lost 6 of their last 10. 5 were against CAA opponents. And you struggle at the worst possible time simply because of the way that other teams are playing right now. We told you about North Carolina A&T. We told you about Delaware, Towson. They have caught fire at the right time. You also look at Hofstra and Charleston. They've caught fire at the right time too. So then that kind of leaves Stony Brook in kind of purgatory, trying to figure things out. So they were selected to finish 5th in the CAA preseason coaches poll. That will not happen. Last year they finished 5th, 17-14 and 11-7, and their past 2 CAA campaigns, they did make tournament appearances, but that now is in serious jeopardy going up against the top team in the conference in Towson. They need this match. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And right now, they also have to hope that Campbell can kind of give Stony Brook a little bit of a bump here. And that's kind of that's a tall task. And right now, you look at the other side, Northeastern, they're up 22-12 in the midst of a 6-1 scoring run against the Campbell Fighting Camels. So a lot of help is needed for Stony Brook here. We'll see if they can help themselves here. And Abdul Rahim says, we're going to do it. And now the Tigers with their largest lead of the afternoon with 4. Here's Henry, sets up Pierre-Louis. Barrett was there, goes out of play. And Towson with a 5-point lead. You can see right there on the outside had gone off of Pierre-Louis that time. And again, a block solo for Victoria Barrett in the midst of a 4-0 run. Here's Anderson. Can she break it up? Yes, she can. Ever so slightly, says the back judge. By a thin margin. And now here's Signa at the service line. Jesse Abdul, or rather Demango. Barrett, right in the wheelhouse. Set point, Tigers. So coming on, the freshman outside, Ava Nakai. with the freshman setter Moran. Set to serve. Moore, Henry, give and go to Moore. Nice and high. Coons wins the net battle. Knock-eye. Henry, the other way. And could not find Callie Moore in time, or really on their side of the floor. So the Tigers take set number 1, 25-19. A valiant effort put forth by Stony Brook, but just down the stretch, Towson once again caught fire, and Stony Brook unable to catch them. We will head to the second set on the other side of this break here on Flow Sports. We welcome you back inside Pritchard Gymnasium. Joey Jarzinka on hand with you, and today we got a chance to honor our one senior in Sage Bradley here this afternoon. And Sage Bradley, it's been a tough go the last couple of years. She had a lower body injury last year, did not play in 2023, which, again, she suffered in the preseason, but last played back in 2022, played in 20 total matches, and the season-high 9 kills at Elon, tied for the team lead with 63 blocks back in 2022, did not play in 21, but again, really cool stat also was that at Renaissance Academy, where she graduated high school in Newark, Delaware, she was the first ever student athlete to receive a Division I athletic scholarship. So long time ago, did not see a whole lot of time here on the floor as a collegiate student athlete, but we wish Sage Bradley, the senior middle blocker from Newark, Delaware, well wishes in her future endeavors. That's for sure from all of us here at Stony Brook Athletics. And there she is there. But back here on this floor inside Pritchard Gymnasium, we get things started here in set number 2. Stony Brook and Towson swap sides. Stony Brook in the navy, meanwhile, Towson in the white. We're underway here in set 2. Patsos upstairs to Anderson, off of Abdul Rahim, and Anderson opens this second set with a Seawolves point. Both teams ending set number 1 with positive hitting percentages, 300 and over, and now Callie Moore with Tori Henry with a service ace. That is her second service ace of the afternoon. Here's Jessie. Barrett kept alive. Patsos on the dig. Barrett. Oh, yes. Victoria Barrett, 10 kills, 13 attempts. 769 hitting percentage so far. And yesterday, you look back to yesterday, or rather you look back to yesterday, and Victoria Barrett, 9 of 24 with 2 attempt errors and had a double-double with 10 digs. Patsos to Kuntz. Upstairs for Nakai, and she ricochets that attempt off of Kuntz to knot this one up at 2. Yesterday, Callie Moore came within 2 digs of a double-double. Upstairs from Moran. Barrett stopped there by Pierre-Louis. Henry, Pierre-Louis, the swing and miss. That's the second one that we've seen tonight, or rather this afternoon. This is the Henry to Pierre-Louis connection that today has had a little bit of rust show. As Leonie Kuntz playing in her last match here inside Pritchard Gymnasium. And the service from Kaitlyn Moran just far. Just another score update. Northeastern took down Campbell 25-14 in set number 1, and currently those two are tied at 3 in set number 2. We will keep our eyes on that the entire way this match. Upstairs, Moran to Barrett off of Kuntz. Moran tries to do the setter dump, but her counterpart was ready. Kuntz off the top of the tape, kept alive by Nakai. Henry, Pierre-Louis, that one was connected. Henry to Moore. Trying to keep it alive. Pinball there by Kuntz and Henry. Barrett, and off of Henry. We saw a rally awfully similar yesterday that had gone in favor of Stony Brook, and that is the cool part of these two teams going at it. As Ayana Pierre-Louis ties this one up at 4. Yesterday we saw both teams going back and forth. Stony Brook leading the CAA in numerous categories, in digs, in total kills, in attacks per set. These two teams are the 2 top offenses in the conference. And Towson will receive a point there. You look at hitting percentage, though, for Towson, they lead the way. 262 they average. Meanwhile, Stony Brook, they average a hitting percentage of 206, ranked right in the middle of the CAA. Went the wrong way. Barrett kept it alive. Can they get it over? No. Goes behind the antenna. And the ladder official in Ryan Almonacci. So he's the ladder official here this afternoon. Patrick Burns is at the table. Lewis Becker and Shayna Priestley are the 2 line judges. Upstairs for Brothers, kept alive. Henry, Campbell batted it over. Brothers just wide. Seawolves point. And Stony Brook back in front by 1. Now here's Kuntz. Signa over toward Moore. Back row dig there by Kuntz. Here's Moore. Is that off the fingertip? No, it was not. It was a perfect attempt right down the seam for Callie Moore. And Coons goes just wide on the service. Tigers within one. So there went the scoring run for the Seawolves. Here's Henry toward Campbell off of Stewart, and Campbell records her second kill to bring the Seawolves, or rather to put the Seawolves back in front by 2. And a service ace by Callie Moore. So for Stony Brook, that is service ace number 3, and the second one here in this set. And make that back-to-back service aces for Callie Moore as the Seawolves are now in front by 4, their largest lead of the match. And we're going to keep our eyes out on head coach Don Metal on whether or not he takes a timeout sooner rather than later. Poked upstairs for Callender. And who needs a timeout when you can build your own momentum? Callender with her second kill. And puts Towson within 3. Anderson, Henry, right back to Anderson. Barrett. And goes right beyond the reach of the diving Coons. So Metal goes to chat with Barrett. Meanwhile, Callender on the service. Here's Henry upstairs to Anderson, right in the breadbasket. Seawolves back in front by 3. Patzos from the service line. Barrett, just wide. And sometimes with power. Potentially comes errors at times. Brothers goes the wrong way for Henry. And Towson with a much needed point. Henry tries to do the setter specialty. Towson was ready for it. We'll do it again. Anderson and Abdul Rahim tries to block that one and keep it in play, but goes out. Back to a 4-point edge. Stony Brook leading this match in hitting percentage, .378. I'll give you some more numbers in a few moments. Here's Barrett. Off of Moore the wrong way, and Patzos slides into the bleachers. Seven attacking errors for Towson compared to Stony Brook's 2. Henry sets up Coons. Right along that back row. So here's Signa. And off the fingertips of Stony Brook. And now in front by 3 are the Seawolves. So, again, Towson, they're keeping things quite interesting here. Meanwhile, Stony Brook clinging to that 3-point edge. Moran, it's a knock-eye. Tried to hammer that down was Calendar. Barrett keeping that back row secure. Henry and Coons with her 7th kill of the match puts the Seawolves in front by 4, and now Metal takes his first time out of the second set. With that being said, we'll take a 60-second break here on Flow Sports and be back with you on the other side. So Stony Brook with a 4-point advantage against Towson here in set number 2 had prompted Don Metal to take his first time out of the second set. As Stony Brook set to serve, that was Pierre-Louis. Calendar, Henry, Pierre-Louis up top toward Coons, high arcing attempt. Here's Moran, back row there for Barrett. She could do it from any spot on the floor. You can see with Barrett again on the run and just ever so powerful. And battle there by Brothers and Henry. Here's more. Poked up by Brothers. And the 5 on the floor, rather the 6 on the floor, could not get there in time. So we'll have Laura Detweiler come on to the floor. And she'll replace Elenia Domingo, the senior middle. Sophomore defensive specialist, the transfer from Arizona. Did not play out in the Southwest as Coons hammers one home right to Barrett. A 3-point advantage for Stony Brook. Moran up top to Brothers. That movement so quick for the junior middle out of Grove City, Ohio. Not much Coons could do along the back row that time. Brothers had a season high on the blocking side of things against Hampton just a couple of weeks ago. Upstairs for more. Off of Stewart, kept alive. More. Back toward Patsos. Campbell. And batted down by Callie Moore. But Stony Brook back in front by 3. And you can see this Seawolves team, they have to fight for every single point. Upstairs from Jesse. Henry, the setter dump off the tape. Back to a 4-point lead. Quick score update on the other match. Campbell and Northeastern. Campbell in front by 6 in the midst of a 3-0 scoring run. And now up by 7, 17-10, up in the Commonwealth. Barrett from the back row. Henry kept it alive. What a defensive stop there by Stony Brook, but Coons cannot keep it going. "29 kills for Towson compared to Stony Brook's 24. Here's Henry toward Coons. Patsos to Anderson on the outside. Kept alive. And the setter specialty kept alive by Stony Brook. Barrett off of Henry, and she and Coons collide along the far sideline. And the Tigers with back-to-back points. They pull the Tigers within 2. And now with the back-to-back points awarded to Towson, Stony Brook takes their first time out of the first set. We'll be back in 60 here on Flow Sports. So we'll take a peek here at Callie Moore, and what a job she has done this 2024 campaign. Leads the team with 13 double-doubles. Career high 407 kills coming into this weekend, averaging 4 kills per set. And again, last weekend, 13 kills, 7 digs, 2 aces, 1 block. You look back to yesterday's match, where she put together 10 kills, 8 digs. We told you early on, she was 2 digs away from her 14th double-double. And Anderson on the outside gives Stony Brook its 19th point. Anderson and Campbell standing tall. And now Patsos. Upstairs, Barrett. Both teams, Towson with a hitting percentage of .338, Stony Brook with .373. Henry and Pierre-Louis off of the tape, beyond the reach of the diving libero Sydney Stewart. First to 20 are the Seawolves here in set number 2. And Henry just long, and you can see her saying, "Guys, my fault." read her lips that time. Here's Henry. Poked up by Pierre-Louis. Stewart. And Barrett again. Well, you kind of know what might happen when Victoria Barrett gets the opportunity as more the exact same. Barrett again. Top two outsides in the conference. Could not keep things alive, and now we are tied up at 20 apiece. And Towson on a 3-0 scoring run. And really difficult. Here's Stony Brook again. They're trying to get every single point, and head coach Don Metal, there he is, chatting with his two assistants in Terry Hutchinson and Mariana Silva. And you take a peek at what Don Metal has done through his 12 years at the helm of the Towson Tigers. Win number 266 just yesterday. Five-time CAA Coach of the Year, back-to-back in 22 and 23. And just before his Towson position, 2007 and 2012, he was in the MEAC in University of Maryland Eastern Shore. He was their head coach, and back in 1996, he was the primary setter for men's volleyball for that program in Cal University of Pennsylvania in Division II. And Don Metal, we got a chance to chat with him, and again, a lot of positives for his team coming into this weekend, but really put a lot of emphasis on how things are a little bit different this year. Again, you look back to 2022, 2021 in the fall, the spring of 21, and then 2019, it was all CAA champs. This one goes the other way, and a service ace for Towson, and now Towson, they are finding their rhythm on a 4-0 scoring run. Stony Brook, their wheels are falling off a little bit. We'll see if they can tighten the bolts. Henry. And a bit of miscommunication there. Moore was able to get it over. Moran to Barrett. .5-0 scoring run for the Tigers. And Stony Brook cannot stop the pace. Line drive off the service. And Kaitlyn Moran puts the Tigers on a 6-0 scoring run and in front by 3, 23-20. And Anderson the other way, another service ace for Moran. That's her third back-to-back service aces in Towson on a 7-0 scoring run. And they've got 4 set points. Just long. Seawolves, they take advantage of the service error. And they're within 3. Here's Madison Signa. We told you about her service ace day a couple of weeks ago. Can she find that magic again? And a bad set for Towson. Associate coach Terry Hutchinson not too thrilled with that call. Seawolves within 2. Stewart. Moran in the middle for Barrett. And the Seawolves, they're able to get a point back. Now they are on a 3-0 scoring run, and a timeout taken by Towson. Well, what a job by Towson. You take a peek now at Victoria Barrett, and there's only so many things that you can say about Victoria Barrett. And right now we're taking a peek at Zaire Abdul-Rahim, but we could talk a lot about her as well. But again, sticking with Victoria Barrett, last week, 12 kills, 9 digs, 3 blocks. And coming into this weekend, ranked second in the CAA with 336 kills, and has accumulated now 375 after yesterday. 4-time Offensive Player of the Week in the CAA this past season. And again, you could see, we don't have to tell you, you can see it for yourselves on the screen, what she brings to the table for this Towson team. 2024 preseason CAA Player of the Year, was named to the CAA All Preseason squad as well, and currently leading by a +12 margin in kills. And when we say +12, Leonie Coons has 8. Just for perspective, you draw your own conclusions. 24-23, trying to solidify this second set is Towson. Moran to Barrett. Henry keeps it alive. Patzos to Coons. Moran, Barrett, yes! Victoria Barrett with kill number 21 in 31 total attempts, and gives the Tigers a 2-0 lead off the back of a 7-0 scoring run put together by Towson. And what a job by the Tigers. We'll be back in a few short moments to get you ready to go for set number 3 here from inside Pritchard Gymnasium.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Bacon. Good morning, everybody. Nothing like the Jersey Mike's morning prep. The sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the bopping of the fresh lettuce.
Danny, what are you doing up there?
I've been living up here for months.
Got a package from Mr. DeVito?
Oh, my bacon sniffing horn. Oh, smell that bacon. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, now we're talking. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
At Stony Brook Cancer Center, we don't just conduct clinical trials, we create them, all so Callie can keep trying new things. We are a multidisciplinary team, caring for you from every angle, so Jim can find just the right one. We develop highly individualized, leading-edge cancer treatments, so Sarah can follow her passions, using our strengths to help you regain yours. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you. At Stony Brook Neurosciences Institute, we treat complex conditions involving the brain, so Manny can keep creating new memories. We never stop innovating ways to treat neurological disorders, so Sophie can get back to work. We propel cutting-edge epilepsy research forward, so Cameron never has to look back. tackling life-changing conditions to help you regain your strength. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
You left late, and we had to walk a mile to the stadium. What have you prepared for us, Chef?
Eckrich smoked sausage, Chef.
Well done, Chef.
Yes!
For smoked sausage you heat up and eat up, just add Eckrich.
Well, we come right back here with you to start the third set. Let's take a peek at the CAA women's volleyball table, and you can see Towson, Delaware, Charleston, and Hofstra. Those are the top 4 seeds right now. And again, those top 4 seeds are looking for that first round bye and a chance to host next year's 2025 women's volleyball tournament at their site. So Towson, yes, they are hosting this year, but not a guarantee to host next year. At North Carolina A&T, currently in the 5 spot at 10-5. And then again, that ever so battle for 6, Stony Brook, Northeastern, Elon, William & Mary. That is that quartet that is vying for the final playoff spot in the 2024 CAA tournament. Well, Stony Brook, it was a tough one as Towson opens up set number 3. Stony Brook, they had a sizable lead and could not get anything done simply because Towson, down the stretch, had gone on a 7-0 scoring run to eventually propel themselves over the Seawolves and give them a 2-0 lead. That is the tough and the harsh reality of sports. And Stony Brook, they really did well in really this entire match when you compare yesterday to today. And Stony Brook has been really playing at the level that Towson has been playing too. You look at hitting percentage, 269 for the Seawolves, 355 for Towson. And they've been pretty even. Just timely kills have been a bit different and a couple of different errors. But other than that, it's been pretty even. Despite the 2-0 lead for the Tigers. Here's Barrett. And went off of Pierre-Louis and Coons. And the Tigers in front 2-1. Well, attack errors 9 for Towson compared to Stony Brook's 2. Service errors 5 for the Seawolves compared to Towson's 2. Henry to Coons, just wide. it's been a one-woman show for Towson here tonight. And it's been Victoria Barrett. Meanwhile, it's Coons, Anderson, and Moore. And kept alive by Barrett. Upstairs for Nakai. Patsos to Coons. They'll do it again on the far side. Henry sets up Coons right side off of Barrett. And Leonie Coons brings this third set within 1 point. Directly into the tape when Pierre-Louis. And that's going to be the biggest question for this Stony Brook team heading into 2025. Again, they still have next weekend, and they still hope to sneak in that last playoff spot. But the middles, they look pretty good. Mercedes Moten we spoke about just a few weeks ago, as Nakai increases the lead to 3 for Towson. Abby Campbell, after this year, he ran out of eligibility. And then you also look at Quinn Anderson on the outside, too. There's a lot of hope for this Stony Brook team. But, again, a lot of talented players are concluding their tenure as collegiate student athletes. Leonie Coons also on the outside, and that's something that we'll see. The depth potentially take a hit for next year, and we're going to keep our eyes on that down the stretch. So the Tigers in front 6-2 on a 3-0 scoring run, and we'll take a peek at the next up for Stony Brook as they conclude their regular season next weekend down in North Carolina, as they take on the Campbell Fighting Camels beginning on Friday, November 15th, and then the back end of that two-day doubleheader is Saturday, November 16th. Opening serve 5 p.m. and 1 p.m. respectively can be viewed on Flow Sports. So, where do you go here if you're Stony Brook? And that's the biggest question here that Kristen Belzung has the answer to. And then it's the team to potentially capitalize. And we'll see if that happens here with the Tigers fully in front in the momentum department. Here on Senior Day, after honoring Sage Bradley, the lone senior. Upstairs for Nakai on the diving dig from Coons. Barrett, Moran, the setter specialty. Her counterpart figured it out. Moran, off-balance attempt from Barrett. Campbell tried to keep it alive, was Stewart, and pinballed around from Callender, and the Seawolves cut Towson's lead in half. Line drive service from Coons. Callender. Here's Nakai. Moran. Right side blocking. Henry and Campbell combine for the point to put the Seawolves within 2 of Towson. Henry Campbell, right side. Henry to Moore. Off the top of the tape, just over. Henry the other way. And Cigna could not get there in time. Henry upstairs for Moore. Kept alive by Barrett. Henry, give and go to Moore. And off the fingertips there of Brothers. And Moore with her 5th kill. Dumping that is Quinn Anderson. And Anderson has had a good day today. Has 8 kills, but has been quiet in that department. Or a quiet 8 kills, rather. As Anderson and Campbell go on the outside and give the Tigers a 2-point edge once more. Well, we told you about the series history yesterday, and this is a series that started way back in 2001. And since then, Towson has not given up more than 1 set to Stony Brook, as that one bounced right back into the face of Callie Moore. Well, there's Jesse. Upstairs for Campbell, off balance. Barrett goes the wrong way. Abdul Rahim could not get there. We have not really called Zaire Abdul Rahim's name a whole lot. And again, we told you early on, it's pretty much the Victoria Barrett show. But now Julia Patzos trying to make it the Stony Brook show. Jesse sets up Calendar right in between Patzos and Moore. Well, now coming in for the first time this weekend, Natalia Pebenito. Anderson, the dump. So Quinn Anderson now tied for the Stony Brook team lead with 9 kills. Upstairs, Abdul Rahim, Patzos, Henry, Pierre-Louis. Abdul Rahim again, off of Pierre-Louis. Henry to Coons, yes! Within 1 are the Seawolves. Pierre-Louis, Jesse, Brothers, Patzos keeps it alive. And Callie Moore thought about it, and she let it go. We're knotted up at 10. Upstairs for Barrett, yes! Her 23rd kill of the match ties a season high. And the Tigers back in front 11-10. Henry upstairs for Anderson. Henry, Pierre-Louis. Pebenito along the back row could not obtain. And we're knotted up at 11. Battle at the net, and won by Stony Brook there in front. Jesse to Barrett, and the right side for Stony Brook. Put on a block party. They're in front by 2. We're going to keep our eyes out for Towson. And again, that right side for Stony Brook by Coons and Pierre-Louis puts Stony Brook on a 3-0 scoring run for the second time in the last 7 points. Barrett the other way. Stewart kept it alive. Towson got it over. And Abdul Rahim with a block of their own. And a great job in the middle there by Elenia DeMango. And Leonie Coons, and to ensure that everything was all right, that right side on the floor. Henry, Pierre-Louis kept alive. Again along that back row. Henry to Pierre-Louis. And Stewart off of the palm of her hands. Ayanna Pierre-Louis puts Stony Brook back in front 14-13. And that seesaw continues to bounce back and forth. Victoria Barrett with a season high, and they tied for a season high 23. Her career high is 25. Make it 24. Set back a year ago against Delaware with 25 kills, 26.5 points. And she is one from tying her career high. But Callie Moore says, hold that thought. Seawolves in front by 1. Here's Leonie Coons. And pinballs off of, looks like the basketball hoop. Henry, Campbell, the dump. That might be one of the ways that Stony Brook can get back here in front. And again, the Tigers, they are holding their 2 timeouts real close to their chest. And Moore and Campbell combine for a half point. Or rather, combine for a point there, and a timeout taken by Towson, 17-14. Really great job there by Stony Brook back in 60 here on Flow.
What in the world? You did it!
Chicken Salad Chick now has cake. Grab a fork. Today is worth celebrating.
Well, Towson, they head back home next weekend to take on Hofstra. Friday, November 15th and Saturday, November 16th. First serve begins at 6 p.m. on Flow Sports. But the Seawolves, they have ideas of extending this match. Calendar kept alive there by Moran. Knock-eye over toward Coons from Patzos. The libero, Stewart, what a job. They have gone out there. Coons kept it alive. Henry. Campbell. Off the palm of Moore. Henry to Moore. What a rally. Calendar. Henry off of Stewart. And Barrett kept it alive. Tried to go cross court from a different angle. Henry, Campbell off of Barrett. Calendar, Patzos. Moore. Upstairs for Knock-eye. Battle at the net. Moore. This one's continuing here, folks. Moran to Barrett. Oh, Stony Brook. They come away with the point. Abby Campbell in the middle. Point number 18. And you can see the exhale of relief from Abby Campbell. Gives Stony Brook a 4-point edge again. And you can see Leonie Coons with a little bit of a false start that time. Ladder official Ryan Almansey. Knock-eye off of Henry. If you needed some momentum, that rally was definitely one to boost. Went backwards and Campbell. And the Seawolves in front by 3. And just wide from Towson, so now the Seawolves back in front by 4. And we've got a fun third set here from inside Pritchard. Here's Moore. Moran brothers with Coons keeping it alive. Back row attempt from the aforementioned Coons. Moore batting it down was Brothers. Not much you could do there. And we can tell you this, Stony Brook giving it their all. Whatever the outcome is. They're putting on one heck of a performance here in the home finale of the 2024 season. Upstairs for Anderson. Too much. Was there a tip? No tip. And you can see Anderson trying to plead her case with the two line judges, and they're both shaking their heads. Nope. Ball did not change direction per the line judges. We roll on here. Tigers within 2. Henry to Moore in the middle. Oh, yeah, brothers. And Anderson. That's a tough one. That is a tough pill to swallow. Aaron Brothers, the 6-foot junior out of Grove City, Ohio, really had taken the wind out of the sails of Stony Brook on that point. And you saw a little bit of miscombobulation there. But next point, Coons. Tigers within 1. Stewart. Abdul Rahim just wide, and now Towson is looking for a point. And hold on a second, do we have a card being shown? Oh, we will. Okay. So a card has been shown to the Towson bench. We have not seen that all year here. So to the bench, a yellow card was shown. And now Towson within 1. Sarah Callender. Terry Hutchinson, the guilty party there. Coons, Patsos to Anderson. And the Seawolves record point 21. Here's Henry. Line drive. Brothers. Stewart. Abdul Rahim on the right side. Barrett with the left hand. Henry to Coons. Abdul Rahim, too much. No tip on that one. And the Seawolves back in front by 3. So a timeout taken by Towson. Back in 60 here on.
Undefeated Indiana takes on Ohio State. Big noon Saturday on Fox.
Local coverage is sponsored by Chicken Salad Chick, made from scratch, served from the heart.
What comes to mind when you hear made from scratch? Fresh ingredients, perhaps, or food that's made with love. Made from scratch is how food should be made. Welcome to our Scratch Kitchens.
Flow Sports. Well, we told you before how the Seawolves have been really just battling for every single point, and the effort put forth by the Seawolves has just been phenomenal tonight. Towson, though, they're in a league of their own, as you know, you could see certain things there. And again, out of the timeout, that's kill number 25, which ties a career high for Victoria Barrett. Set back a year ago. Next kill for her would be a new career high. Barrett kept it alive. Abdul Rahim. And she goes directly into the net. The Seawolves are within 2 of forcing a 4th set. Here's Signa. Just long. As promised, taking a peek at the scoreboard, Campbell and Northeastern. Campbell, right now, they are in line to win set number 3 and take a 2-1 advantage over Northeastern. We're going to keep our eyes on that. Henry to Coons. Moran to Barrett. Off of Patsos, and that's a new career high for Victoria Barrett. 26 kills, and the Tigers are within 1. Timeout taken by Kristen Belzung and the Stony Brook Seawolves. Victoria Barrett, have a day, have a weekend. And 26 kills. Leonie Coons on the opposite side has 10, a plus 16 margin here in this game. You look down the list for Towson, and Barrett with 26, Brothers with 8, Domingo with 5, Calendar with 4, and Victoria Barrett, 26 of the team's 49 kills. It's a stunning number. It's a stunning number, and Barrett has 1 more kill than the top 3 that Stony Brook has put together. Coons, Anderson, and Moore combined with 25 kills. Barrett has 1 more than those 3 combined. So now the hardest part here for the Seawolves is really just trying to stave off this tough Towson team. We'll leave you to some of the sounds of the band. Off the service, Henry to Pierre-Louis. Stewart up top to Nakai. Patsos upstairs, Coons on the right side, but the outsides for Towson, Barrett, and Domingo combined for a block assist, and we're knotted up at 23. Standing tall are the Tigers. What a match. Here's Moore, and contact made with the antenna. And now Belzung looks for a word. Again, there is no replay system here, so now the line judges and the officials will meet. If the call stands, Towson would have a match point. So Patrick Burns, Ryan Almanzi, those two chatting it over. And Patrick Burns will head to the table. And he'll let Don Nettle know. By the look of Don Meadows' face there, he's not too thrilled. So that might have meant that might mean that Stony Brook may have won the point. Let's see. We're going to get word in a moment. They'll make the call momentarily as Victoria Barrett having a quick word with Ryan Almansi. And the Seawolves will be awarded the point. And now they flip-flop. So now the Seawolves have set point. No timeouts on each side. And Ayana Pierre-Louis looks to send this into a fourth set. Barrett and the Seawolves with the block extend it to a fourth set, 25-23. And we'll be back on the opposite side of this break as we get set to go for a fourth set. Again, keep in mind, Stony Brook has never won more than one set against Towson in its combined history. Between the two, we'll have to see if they can force a fifth set coming up on the other side of this break on Flow Sports. Well, Stony Brook fighting for every point there. What a job that Stony Brook had done down the stretch to force a fourth set. And we told you just before, you look back in the series history, and these two teams, for the 14, times that they have met prior to today's 15th overall meeting, Stony Brook has never won more than one set against Towson. Seesaw momentum currently on the side of Stony Brook, but Towson with that championship mentality, how do they respond? Kept alive, punched back in play by Anderson. Upstairs for Barrett, right in, kill 27. Head coach Don Metal continuing to have some choice words with Patrick Burns. Upstairs for Abdul Rahim. Here's Barrett. And that one had taken a long launch, if you will. And just long for Cigna. So we told you about some of the attacking errors yesterday that Stony Brook had. Well, Towson now has them. 20 attacking errors. And we're in the fourth set. And Leonie Coons with her 11th kill. Ties this one up at 2 apiece here in set number 4. And again, Stony Brook using every little bit of their gas tank. And just long. So Knockeye and Moran come on for the likes of Jesse and Abdul Rahim. Up top, Henry. Campbell, was there a fingertip? No, there was not. And Henry trying to say it went off of a head. And potentially took a redirect. Henry to Coons, off of Tamango. Just wide for the Seawolves, so 5-3 Tigers in front. And kept alive off of a tough reception from Moore. Henry to Moore, yes! Right along that back row, and the Seawolves. That seesaw momentum staying on the side of Stony Brook, but Towson, they are fighting tooth and nail to hammer that seesaw on their side of things. Six blocks for the Seawolves, 5 of which have come by way of Abby Campbell combined. And a service ace for Callie Moore. Leonie Coons, 12 kills, 13 digs. Tori Henry, 36 set assists, 12 digs. Take a peek on the opposite side. Victoria Barrett, 27 kills, 15 digs, double-double for her. Meanwhile, Maisie Jesse and Kaitlyn Moran, they are 1 dig away each from a double-double respectively. Up top from Campbell. Henry. Campbell, the dump. Right along the far side. High arcing service from Moore. Brothers just in along the service line. And here come the pair in Abdul Rahim and Jessie. Moran with her 10th dig. She's got a double-double. A line drive from Jessie. Kept alive, Abdul Rahim, and she's able to put the Tigers in front by 2. Henry to Anderson. Up top, Abdul Rahim. Anderson once more. Up top. Henry. And colliding, Stewart and Jessie. And a point awarded to Towson. Should go down as a bad block, and that's exactly what it will go down as. Just wide along the near sideline. And now Towson in front by 4. And looking to stop the bleeding is Kristen Belzung. Back in 60 seconds here on Flow.
As a beginner, it's best to start with the tree pose to get a key.
Nice pose.
Thanks.
Chicken Salad Chick now has cake. Grab a fork. Today is worth celebrating.
Well, it was a tie game at 6 apiece before Towson went on a 4-0 scoring run and prompted Kristen Belzung to take her first time out of the 4th set. And out of the timeout, Stony Brook breaks up that run and are within 3. Joey Jarzinka on hand with you alongside our producer and Becca Garner, her entire crew here on Flow Sports. The home regular season finale. As Patsos could not dig that one out. And Towson back in front by 4. And I think they wanted to, Don Metal wanted to make sure about substitutions and the amount that he had left. Brothers, Jesse to Barrett. Coons, Abdul Rahim. Back row attempt. And Barrett alongside Brothers. And looks as if possibly again just trying to wipe the floor. And a bit of miscommunication on the Stony Brook side that results in a Sarah Callender service ace. And now the question is, how long do you preserve that timeout if you're Belzung? Henry, perfect set right to Coons on an off angle. Brothers to Henry, could not keep it alive. And now the Tigers have doubled up here on Stony Brook. Second timeout taken by the Seawolves. And again, not much you could do there as Towson back on a 4-0 scoring run just a point after Stony Brook came out of the timeout, recording 1 point. And there's really not much. So let's take a peek here at some of the statistics. And Towson with 55 kills, but 20 attacking errors, 8 service aces. Stony Brook, though, they've got 7 aces, but 11 service errors. So definitely some positives when it comes to certain things from yesterday. And we told you about the 37 combined basically free points that the Seawolves had handed to Towson. Not the case here this afternoon. It's only 21. So definitely plus 16 better. And you can see that after really just hammering down on that third set and fighting till the very end. And really in the second set too was oh so close. And again, this entire match, you have to give credit where credit's due, and Stony Brook has been absolutely phenomenal going up against really the cream of the crop in the CAA. That they've been really the superior for give or take the last half decade. Henry to Coons. Barrett kept it alive. Stewart, and off of Jesse. Also Maisie Jesse with 10 digs. She's got a double-double, so 3 Tigers with double-doubles, Barrett, Jesse, and Moran. Barrett, Jesse to Brothers, off the chest of Patsos, but Stony Brook keeps it alive. Brothers, pancake stop by Henry, and point awarded to Towson. That's a tough pill to swallow if you're Stony Brook. A really, really good job there by Stony Brook to keep it alive. Well, here's Stewart. And the service ace for Sydney Stewart gives the Tigers an 8-point edge. They've doubled up on Stony Brook for the second time in about 4 points, and Stony Brook cannot stop the pace of play in this set. Upstairs. And it's Yelenia Domingo with point number 17. 3-0 scoring run. think also that, checking that floor, both sides, to stop momentum would be a tactic as well. Again, food for thought. See that a lot sometimes, and really all throughout college sports. Stop the momentum if you don't have the timeout. And Barrett. Point number 18. Kill number 28 for Victoria Barrett. With that being said, gonna keep our eyes out on season high in the NCAA. And right side from Coons, she's able to get a point back. So we're going to give you a quick update in a moment with Victoria Barrett. And it's not only from Barrett, it comes from all over. So we told you about Barrett's career high early on. It was 25. She's at 27 now. And we had said that we were getting into the region of top 20 in the NCAA this year. Stewart to Barrett. Henry to Moore on the outside, directly into the net. And the Tigers, point number 21. So 27 kills in a 4-set match, if the result stays this way, is tied for 23rd alongside Dayton's Lexi Almodovar back on November 2nd, just 8 days ago, against George Mason, who had 27 total kills. Aaliyah Carter out of Kansas State from the Big 12 with 27 kills against Utah back on October 24th. And someone close by out of St. Louis, the Billikens, Addie Bruce, out of the A-10. The freshman outside reported 27 in 4 sets, but now we'll pump the brakes. The Seawolves back-to-back points, 21-11. Upstairs, Barrett, off-balance attack. And Campbell goes just wide. Here's Barrett. Henry to Moore. Barrett kept it alive. And Moran to Callender. Henry to Moore. Off the forearm of Barrett. And Stony Brook gets a point back. Abby Campbell, point 12. Rotation very small for this Stony Brook team. And some more wiping over the floor inside the circle on the opposite side of Wolfie. Upstairs for Callender. Moore keeps it alive. Henry to Campbell. Moran to Nakai off of Campbell. Point 23 for Towson. Now coming on for the first time is Alexa Mork, the freshman defensive specialist out of Westchester, PA. And a service ace for Towson, and that brings up match point. It's Alexa Mork. Anderson, Henry, the setter dump. Should be a bad set, and that's exactly how this 2024 home schedule comes to a close. Stony Brook falls in 4 sets. Towson wins this one 25-19, 25-23, and 25-12 in the 4th set. Stony Brook took set number 3, 25-23, and Towson, they end this contest on a 3-0 scoring run. You take a peek at the standings, and right now, Stony Brook, they are currently out of playoff positioning. Right now, Northeastern leading Campbell 2 sets to 1, and they are about to take down Campbell in about 1 point away. They're 1 point away from moving into that 6th spot and sole possession. Stony Brook falls to 14-12, 7-9 in conference play. They end the 2024 campaign 4-5 on their home court inside Pritchard Gymnasium. Meanwhile, Towson, they extend their winning streak to 8 straight, 22-4, 13-3 in conference play, and they are 6-3 on the road. Well, for our production team led by Becca Gardner, and on behalf of Johnny Godamowitz, who we both got a chance to call a whole bunch of games for your Stony Brook Seawolves women's volleyball program, I'm Joey Jarzinka saying thank you for tuning in all 2024, and we hope to see you back next year. We're signing off for the 2024 home schedule here from Pritchard Gymnasium. Towson takes down Stony Brook 3 sets to 1.